So, hello everybody. We were chatting away before we saw the countdown coming on our screens, but this is how lives with Intrinsiq always are. At this point now, after many years, we're just a group of friends talking about industry things. But today, I'm pleased to welcome a new face of Intrinsiq. We have Dario with us. And for those of us in the industry who, have been working with Intrinsiq for a while, who have been following our lives for a while, I'm sure you've seen or heard about our good friend Jonas. So how are you guys? Everything okay? All good,
Good.
Jonas?
All good.
So
Yeah.
Jonas, like me, as you know, is based in Malta, and we were just teasing Dario, who is in the UK,
In the
about
UK.
the lovely weather that we have today. How
Yeah.
about you, Dario? All good?
I'm very well. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, of course, like the weather is completely different from Malta to UK, but really, like I cannot complain because I'm one of those lucky ones that live like in the south. So I'm just 10 minutes away by the
Okay.
beach from the beach. So yeah, I mean,
So
it's
where are you
not
based in
Malta,
the
but it really
UK?
looks like. So yeah.
Where are you based in the UK,
I am
Dario?
in Devon, so like
Okay.
yeah, southwest in Turkey, which is
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
which is like yeah, it reminds me a lot of Malta, so I cannot complain. Yeah, maybe the weather can be better, but
Well,
Well, you can't have it all.
you're still further up north, exactly, and you can't have
absolutely,
it all.
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, but obviously we're not here to talk about the weather. We are here to talk about all things intrinsic. So I'm going to start with you, Jonas, because before I move on to Dario and
Sure.
his first few weeks, because Dario has only been with Intrinsic for a month.
Yes.
But these past months, what has Intrinsic been up to, Jonas?
Well, we've hinted at it in our first article of the year. So this year, we always stress how customer focused we are. So this year, we're going to up our game on that. Um, that's why Dario is in as well. So he's, as you said, he's the new face. So probably our clients will be seeing his face more often than mine because I'll be focusing more on the sales front.
Okay.
Um, yes, so yeah, as part of our campaign, we're now focusing more on our customers, giving them a smoother transition. Yeah,
I was going to ask you that, in fact. I hear this a lot from you. We are customer focused. We're focused on our customers. And obviously, I've been working with you for many years now, so I know that is true. But for those who are watching us and listening to us, who haven't been in touch with Intrinsic yet, when you say that you're customer focused, when you say that you help customers with a smooth transition, what exactly do you mean by that? Could you delve a little bit deeper on it?
okay. Oh, so as we mentioned quite a lot, the IQ system is customized. So there are functions that are the same for each and every school, but obviously, as you know, schools operate differently. So our system reflects the way those schools work. So what we do, and in fact, at the moment, we're dealing with a couple of new customers that are joining in, and Dario is joining me on the calls. We try to figure out a way that to know how they work and how they can do it better with Intrinsic or how Intrinsic can reflect their flow.
So basically, when you're meeting customers and when you're meeting clients on calls and online, you first try to understand how the school operates. I mean, you try to almost, I guess, become part of that school.
Yes. So, yeah, the idea is we always stress on the word relationship. So, we start off getting to know each other, know how they operate, and then this build the system, add on to it according to their needs. So,
Okay.
how you work on a relationship in any other part of your life, this is the way Intrinsic works with its clients.
Okay. And so does that mean that, for example, you get to meet and you get to speak to different members of the team at the school?
Yes. So the idea is to meet with each and every person of the department. So no one knows the accommodation flow better than the accommodation manager and his team. So why meet with the school head when we can set the flow going with the members of that department? So yes, we do
Okay.
organize various calls with each and every department to see how they work and how Intrinsic can help them.
But then when there are issues or when there are questions, would these people contact you directly, or would you have a single contact person, a single, so to speak, intrinsic expert, if we'd like to call them that,
Yes.
within the school?
So rather than one intrinsic expert who at the moment will be Dario, so that's why we introduced him to the team.
Okay.
So he'll be taking care of all things customer relations wise. We do have a support system. They can send tickets in, and everyone they can be sorted to whichever developer is taking care of that team. So we have a one-way street for them to reach out to us. I mean, they can still email each and every one of us,
Okay.
obviously, and we can redirect them to whoever can take care of them best.
I see. Okay. So that brings me to you, Dario. Jonas has explained kind of a little bit what your role is, but I know that you are a fresh face to Intrinsic, but you're not a fresh face to the industry. So, what kind of experience do you bring with you?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So, first of all, like I'm very happy like to collaborate with this company because like I really see a lot of potential and I really see and I really think how technology can really make this business much better because like I think when I had my past experience in this in various schools they like like some reports they were not working so like we were more focused on making re- uh, a report right rather than spending time with the students or just making better the experience of the student that they were choosing that particular school. What I believe that in Andrinzik does is basically this. He makes technology works for you. So like you just don't think you. I believe like that you don't need to work harder. You just need to work smarter. And I believe this is what this system can really do. Obviously, obviously, look, I have been in this industry now for almost 10 years. So I have been working for big companies, smaller company,
Okay.
and even like in various departments. So example how like no like Jonas like was actually saying when I meet a particular client and like we have a meeting about our group functionality, I know exactly what they need because I was in that chair 5 years ago. When I meet someone that is looking for a better way to find host family and allocate it to students, I know exactly what you want because 2 years ago I was doing your job. So like it's like I don't need to understand kind of the workflow behind because I was one of you.
Exactly.
You know, like I I I was there, and so like yes, like this is like it's been my first month with the company. Definitely a lot of learning because like it's a completely new system, and what is good for the client, but maybe not very good for me at the moment, if I want to be honest, is that is so personalized for each school that I basically need to learn a different system every time
Every
I
time.
talk with a different school or company. Now, which of course this is like not very good for me, but but but
Exactly.
for a client point of view, this is fantastic because
Of
like
course.
I remember like like when I was working like in a with a school in Malta, we were really like trying like to run a particular report that that particular system was not able to do. What are what our client now are able to basically do is just to send us an email, say, look, I want this report, give us 5 days and it's done. So I do believe that the technology can really make the job of people working in this fantastic and amazing in industry just like make it easier. I mean, like, you don't really need to work hard, you just need to work smarter. This is it.
Yeah, I like this. I like this idea of working smarter and not necessarily harder. And earlier on, when we were talking before we actually hit the live button, you said something when you were speaking of your experience at schools earlier on in your career, and you said, "I feel their pain,"
Yeah,
and that is something. I mean, even with Jonas, we've often discussed some of the pain points that schools that schools have and that schools come across, and very often it is this lack of functionality that the systems that they use have. I mean, in this day and age, we are still meeting schools who do their class forecasts on pen and paper
yeah,
or good old fashioned Excel,
yeah,
if they want to be paperless. So having a system like this, and again, you mentioned it, Dario, and Jonas and Mark have mentioned it many times in the past, it gives the school more time to concentrate on what actually matters, which is
yeah.
the student. So, Jonas, you've brought in this gentleman to specialize and to work on clients and to learn all these new systems. By the way, Dario, I'm really not jealous of you. So, what is your role going to be, Jonas, now moving forward? Because obviously, in the past years, clients have known you, and you know how people are. It's like having a school teacher in kindergarten, and they don't really want to let go, but obviously, they're going to be in very good
Yeah.
hands. What is your role going to be?
Okay. So post COVID, let's call it post COVID because we're still staggering from that and building up on that. This year, we're going to focus. I'm going to focus more on sales, getting to know new people, more networking. So we'll be at more events over
Okay.
the coming months. So yes, my primary focus will be getting new clients and then getting them to Dario so he can deal with them
Bring
So
them
he
to
has
me, bring
so
them to me.
exactly.
with
So
my help,
Jonas has the
obviously.
fun part.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
obviously I will help, but yes, my focus will be on getting new clients on board.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're going to be at events. What are some of the events you're going to be attending in the coming
Okay,
months?
so the confirmed one is IELC in Dublin. So we'll be
Okay.
there in April, yes. On the I think it starts on the 13th.
13th to the 16th of
Yes.
April. Yeah.
And after that, we're meeting Dario in the UK. So Mark will be joining us. So at
Okay.
least we'll meet in person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
At least it will take less
yeah.
for the
that's
whole
true.
Intrinsic team to meet in person than it took for Mark and Jonas to meet in
Exactly.
person.
Yeah. So yes, those are our trips so far. Obviously, in summer, it's more focused on schools because everyone is, out of breath running their schools.
Exactly. And
But
we
yeah,
can
in
go to the beach
October.
then. We
Yeah,
can let the
exactly.
schools work in summer.
True.
See, this is
Um,
one advantage, Dario, of working on this side
It's very
of
true. It's
things.
yes,
very true.
In the summer, you're gonna be taking it
it's
easy
yes,
now.
It doesn't
taking it
happen
easy.
this if like you work in a
No,
school. Doesn't.
No.
really, that yeah, we
Really,
feel that pain too.
we know.
But it's nice. It's nice to hear, and I'm hearing this from a lot of my customers. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but it's nice to hear that finally things are super busy for schools
Yes.
across the board. So things do seem to be moving, post everything that has happened and is still kind of happening.
True.
So, okay, so we've discussed events, we've discussed Dario, we've discussed your roles. To sum it up, I think there is also a new feature that you're going to be introducing, Jonas. We had discussed this a little bit earlier on when we were planning the marketing strategy for Intrinsiq. The forums, we had mentioned some
Yes.
kind of forums that you're going to be hosting. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So that's one other thing that Dario will be taking over later
Surprise,
on.
surprise.
Yeah.
They're making you work a lot,
Ah, yeah.
Dario.
A live surprise.
Fine. Obviously, we'll work. Both of us will work on that. The idea of the forums is to have customers, our customers, I mean their staff, basically, jump in on a call with us. We discuss their pain points, show them the advancements we did, because obviously, as Dario mentioned, it's a whole new system for each and every customer. So it's a way for us to showcase what Intrinsiq can do, because obviously, as we mention quite a lot, we're always trying to improve. So as much as we do the system for our customers, we also learn from them. So that's the purpose of these forums. So
So before jumping onto the call, will they, because obviously the aim of a forum is for people to, so to speak, type comments or type pain points. Is it something that is going to be open exclusively to your customers? And before we get to the call stage, what's the in-between process?
okay, so yes, it's strictly for customers only, because obviously we'll just be discussing stuff that pertains to Intrinsiq and how it works. So any outsiders won't really know what it's about. Um, so yes, basically there's a system where they can, there's a link they can log in and book their ticket to the event, and obviously then we'll send them the details for the call.
Okay. And how
Um,
frequently will these events be held?
they're held every fortnight, so
Okay.
every fortnight it's focused on a particular department. So not
Okay.
the whole school has to be in on them, but obviously it's focused. Let's say if it's on accommodation, maybe some members of your accommodation team can join in on the call.
Okay, and will it be one school at a time, or can different members from different accommodation teams at different schools be present?
No, it's aimed at all schools, so all of our
Okay,
clients. So we'll have clients from any school that we have.
okay,
I mean,
that you're
the
working
idea
with.
is, yes, that we're working with. The idea is that even staff members can help other staff members from the
Exactly.
school. So they can hint at, okay, so listen, I found this as a problem, and someone else, I use this as a shortcut. So that way they also help each other while helping
Exactly.
us identify some pain points. The reason we push for this is that we notice that customers, especially staff members who don't really deal with us on a daily basis, find it difficult to report a problem
Yes.
if it's something minor. But obviously, if it's minor, we want to fix it anyway. So that way, probably it will come up during the conversation, and we can see what can be done from our end to fix.
Very nice,
Yeah,
very nice. It's obviously, again, this is yet another example of you guys being very customer focused, very customer oriented, and the fact that you don't wait for the customer to tell you about the problem, but you actually create the space for the customer to be comfortable enough to
yeah,
discuss the problem, to discuss the issue, because it's not necessarily something big. But to discuss the issue before it actually becomes a problem. So I
exactly.
think that is something very, very positive.
This is something we
Okay.
built on so basically, how Mark comes over to Europe twice a year,
Yes.
and he does the rounds, goes to visits our clients. I mean, so we've added this so as not to limit it to twice a year. They can do it also
Very
online, and it's
nice.
easier for them. Yes.
Very, and I think, I mean, if we've learned nothing in the past 2 years, 2.5, and I hope we learned a lot, the fact that, we can all communicate online, we can all,
Sure.
speak to each other whenever we want. I think, this kind of communication has become much more fluent, much more smooth, so to speak.
Yes.
So that's definitely good. Right. So that's a lot of updates for the first month of the year. I wonder how we're going to get through to December at this rate. Very nice, very nice. So, guys, first of all, thank you for being with us today. I believe we have covered, the topics that we needed to cover. Is there anything that you would like to add from your end, either Jonas or Dario?
I think we've covered everything, to be honest.
Very good.
Just as we always mention, just go to our you can visit our blog and you see what we're up to on a weekly basis. So,
Yes,
and you can also visit our socials. And
exactly.
obviously, if you need anything, just contact us.
And maybe
Exactly.
like schools that they still don't know our system, just have a look, just a check, because like again, like we live like in a years where the like no, the technology can really help make this a job much easier,
Easier.
and we believe, and I personally believe that this system can definitely help in enjoying more time with the students and making the experience of your client much better just because you have a, a system that does the hard work for you.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Very nicely put. Well done. So, from our end, to all of you watching us, this video is going to be available on our YouTube channel. You will find it on all our social media channels, on all of Intrinsiq social media channels. So, there's definitely no excuse, and you cannot miss us for sure. Jonas, Dario, thank you very much for being with us today. Time
Thank you for
always
having us.
flies when we're
It
chatting
does.
with you guys. And to all our viewers, stay tuned. We will have more of these live broadcasts with Intrinsiq and with our guests in the coming weeks. So stay tuned to our social media channels because that's where we will be sharing our updates. Thank you for joining us and have a lovely rest
Thank
of
you.
the day.
You
Take
too.
Fantastic.
care,
Thank you very
guys.
much,
Bye.
Betty. Thank you. Bye.